All right, everybody, there's a change coming to the channel. My ZX6R is turned into that. Ended up going and looking at Ducatis today, was convinced I was like, I'm going to maybe pick up the look at Panigale V2. I've been thinking about the Street Fighter V2 that's upcoming and stuff, and just going over there to look at some stuff, do a little window shopping, and found a decent deal on a brand new 2021 Yamaha R1 in the electric blue with gray. Actually has the blue rims. This bike is a beast. Obviously, it's only got 30 miles on it to ride at home. I didn't really rump on it at all. I do a harder break-in, but the first 100 miles, I do kind of baby it a little bit. Just ride it around normal, around town, rev it up to 7 or 8, nothing hard launches, no getting anywhere near the rev limiter and stuff. Just kind of varying, speeding up, using engine compression to slow down and stuff like that. And I go with that short kind of break-in procedure. Once it's got over 100 miles on it, then I do the oil change and filter, and then I pretty much just ride it. And I've never had a bike break. I've never had a bike have an issue. I've never had anything like that. They've always made excellent power on the dyno, so I know that I got good compression, good piston ring seal. They never burn oil, so I'm not a fan of the 600 to 1,000 mile break-in. It's just not needed in 2021. Hasn't been the case in probably a couple decades now. But anyway, got to learn the electronics. Get rid of those passenger pegs. Don't need those. All it really needs is, I'll probably keep the stock can because I like the way that it looks. And then just get rid of the box in the middle. You get the Y pipe that just connects, gets rid of the exhaust valve. And Chris Moore up at Moore Mafia has just done the ECU flash on the 2021. And just by getting rid of the restrictions, he had a bike in there that was stock. All it had was a slip-on. So I don't even think it had the Y pipe. It was just a slip-on the back. And stock air filter. Once he got done with the ECU flash, he was at 181 horsepower at the wheel. And that was up from 165. So these things are restricted. They'll rev out to 14,000 or 14.5, but the throttle mappings, when you give it 100%, it'll give you 100% throttle up to a certain point, and then it just starts backing off down to like 70 or 80% after 12,000. He gets rid of those restrictions and cleans some things up, gets rid of the top speed limiters and whatever other stuff that's in there. And so he says that with a Y pipe and a Sprint air filter, low to mid 180s, easy at the wheel on an otherwise stock bike. So not that it needs more power, but it does smooth things out and makes it a little nicer. And, at 14,000 RPM, you're picking up 25 horsepower from stock up to the flash. You go from 165 to 185 or whatever. I guess it's not, your peak horsepower only goes up about 15, 16. But when you're looking at the chart and it goes up to 12, the peak is there, and then it goes off. So out in this area up here, 13, 14,000, the motor on stock is losing power between 12 and 14, whereas it takes off with the ECU flash. And up there, you're talking about 25, 30 horsepower. So it's a really big difference up there. But even just riding around just completely bone stock, it's stupid fast. I haven't even really got into the power band yet. I'm going to put about 100 miles or 150 miles on it tomorrow and then do an oil change, and then I'm going to ride it like I stole it. So those passenger pegs coming right off. The guys that prepped it, they actually cleaned all the white lithium grease off the chain, which was really nice. So those really beautiful blue rims are nice and clean. Normally they would have shit all over them from the chain. So I'm going to wipe the chain down just to get any extra grease off. Also, they did leave it a little bit tighter than I like. And, the GMG CompuTrack fitted with the suspension, although on the ride home it felt pretty good. But we'll give it a proper shakedown. I'll see if I can figure out how to mount a camera up to this thing and get some video of it tomorrow. But it's a new era on the channel. No more ZX6 mods unless I'm doing them on Sarah's bike. Looks like I will be doing all my stuff on the R1. And then what's going to do with that is I'm going to keep that until next year. And then once the Street Fighter V2 has been out for a while, make sure there's no issues with it, I'll end up selling that and getting the Street Fighter. And that'll become my naked bike. And I think my wife is getting rid of her Street Triple. She's going to keep her bobber. And she's going to get her, I think she's going to get a Multistrada V2. So she's waiting for those to come out so she can sell that and put her deposit down. But anyway, that's what we got. New R1, looks pretty snazzy. Just needs a Y pipe and a ECU flash. And then maybe a white number plate or maybe gray. See if I can find one that matches that. Put a number plate on the front just to break up the blue a little. But so far, I am digging it. I may get a set of Healy bars. I'm going to ride it like this tomorrow, put some good miles up on it in the mountains, and see if I can stand those bars and the angle that they're at. If not, I'm going to get those Healy bars you saw in Sarah's video and toss them on. That'll be a quick fix. They'll be about 1.5 inches wider and 1 inch up and 1 inch back, and that'll make a big difference on comfort and ergonomics. So that's what we got. It's a new era. It's a beautiful bike, and this, by the time we're done, this will be the fastest bike I've ever owned by a country mile. So stay tuned, folks.